What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Pursuit of High Performance podcast. My name is Nikita Ragoza, and if you want to know how to reach your highest potential, live your best life, and be a high performer, then you are at the right place. So I just want to welcome an amazing person, an amazing guest, an amazing friend today. He's also in the process of creating and launching his own podcast. He's in the process of becoming a dietitian, and he's just an extraordinary human being with a great heart. And I really want to welcome my great friend, my brother, Daniel Shikhman. It's an honor to be here with you, to connect. So what's up, brother?
That's a great introduction, man. I appreciate that a lot. And I just want to say, man, it's an honor and it's my pleasure to be here as your first guest for your show. I'm super excited to get this going, and we both have a lot to share, and I'm just ready to dive deep and get this done and provide some value to the listeners that are listening. Let's do it, brother.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, so I want to dive right into it. We're going to have a lot of topics to talk about today, but share with the viewers your story. What's your story? Where you were, where you overcame the challenges, the tribulations. Share about mental health, the experience you had with depression and anxiety, how you overcame that, the importance of mindsets, how you came around personal development and personal growth. So just share with the viewers your story and where you are now, how you got to where you are now.
That's a lot to cover at first, man. A lot of stuff going on, but I'll just break it down as simply as I can. So, I'm 24 years old. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. As you know, too, you're also from Brooklyn. It can be pretty hectic over here. It's very fast-paced lifestyle. Just it's easy to get caught up in all the stress of New York City. So, pretty much being raised here, we're just a different breed. You know what I mean? Like we're always hustling, we're always grinding, we're always looking for an edge, trying to get shit done. But me, man, I'm from, like I said, from Brooklyn, grew up in Coney Island. uh just a pretty much regular dude, man. Just I've been through a lot of different experiences, tried a bunch of different things. uh I'm just now at 24 years old starting to figure out what it is that I actually want to do with my life. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's an okay time to start. You know what I mean? Everybody follows their own path. Everybody has, their own mission, their own goals. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot because, like I said, not really knowing what you want to do for the rest of your life. I mean, and like finishing off high school, going straight into college. I just wanted to, hang out, have a good time, party. I wasn't really thinking. I'm like, okay, you know what? My awareness wasn't high enough. I'm thinking I'll just find something along the way. You know what I mean? Like I'll figure it out eventually. But just time kept passing. I tried to go on one path, didn't work out, wasn't for me. Another path didn't work out, wasn't for me. Eventually I just ended up pulling back just to freaking work, make of my own money, try different experiences, and just kind of figure out what it is that I want to do. Until recently now, yeah, I just made the decision that I want to go back to school. I want to study to become a dietitian, because I just really enjoy nutrition. I enjoy providing value to people. I enjoy helping others. It's something that I know that I'm destined to do. I'm destined to provide value. I'm destined to give. And that's why I'm also excited that I'm going to be soon launching my own podcast called the Principles of Life podcast. And from there, I'm going to be having on a whole bunch of different guests to share different paradigms, perspectives, perceptions, and how people can just learn. The viewers can learn from whoever, whenever. You know what I mean? I figured that as I became more aware, I started realizing I could learn from everybody. Everybody has a story. Everybody has something that they can share and provide value for. And yeah, man, going back to what you said about anxiety and depression, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, especially nowadays after this whole COVID pandemic. It's been very tough this past year. A lot of mental health issues going on, but the fact that we're able to acknowledge, understand, and accept that there is mental health going on in the world, that's the first step in actually learning to grow from that and achieve to better yourself. Because if you are just delusional and you know you're too proud to understand that you have mental health going on, there's issues, you're never going to fix yourself. So I went through my share of anxiety. I still do. You know, we're not perfect. We all have go through anxiety. Depression was at a point in my life, yes, but you know, I'm glad to say that I've bounced back from that. I've rebounded, and a big factor as to that is to doing inner work with you. I know you have your own coaching business, and you know, you're my coach as well, and I'm grateful to be supporting you in your business because you've helped me tremendously. And once we're able to do this inner work within ourselves and figure out ourselves from within and own that and be responsible for that, we have so much potential that we can create. We have so much we can achieve, but it starts from within. And when you start from within, you surrender to the external universe, and you just there's laws to life, but you just live, man. That's where it starts. That's the foundation, I like to say.
Brother, that's fucking awesome. And I heard you bring up your five pillars. So you said acknowledge, understand, accept, love, and respect. So what does that mean to you? Like I love that concept. So what does that mean to you?
So it's actually it's been adjusted. It's six pillars for now. Sometimes I refer to five, depending on the situation. Sometimes it's six. But yes, good catch. That's my 5 to 6 pillars of life that I like to use for my personal individual self. So it's acknowledge, understand, accept, love, respect, and support. That's the
Mm.
six.
So talk to the viewers about what that means. Like, so
Yeah.
how can you use that in life for yourself, for others? How does that support you?
So pretty much no matter what, when we start to do the inner work from within, you know, when we really just start to become in tune with ourselves, I feel like because there in life, there's situations that is out of our control, circumstances that are out of our control. We can't control other individuals and we can't control their beliefs, essentially. We're not in control of their beliefs, and we're not in control of their actions. So that's what creates the circumstances. So we're not in control of it. So what I like to do is, you know, we're only in control of our internal selves. So how I like to look at life essentially is no matter what it is in the external universe, in order to really move on, we have to acknowledge it, acknowledge what's going on. We understand it logically. And, you know, in order to really let go, this is the big one, we have to accept it. Now, that's where people struggle because that's where a lot of, you know, people can't really accept a lot. But in order to really let go and release those repressed emotions and and really just let go of that negativity in us, we have to accept it. We don't have to respect it. We don't have to support it. That's a whole different branch. But in order to really move on within ourselves, we have to acknowledge, understand, and accept from the external universe. And when it goes back to now, love, we obviously love what we love. We love our family. We love our spouses. You know, we love, you know, so we, so love is its own thing. Love is very powerful. But I like to keep love kind of away because it's so powerful that like it kind of has its own branch. I like to give it. We so then there's respect and support for my friends. For it doesn't even have to be my friends. For every other individual, like who with whom I'm have good intentions with, I respect. I respect. You know what I mean? I show respect and I want myself to earn that respect too. And I support as well. I'm a supportive person, you know. I like to support others. It makes me feel good from inside. Uh, you know, I like to just release when we like really own those, we you'll see like we tend to let go of those negative repressed emotions and we tend to put out that positivity and optimism into the world. So that becomes our frequency, you know, and that's just what radiates. That's what makes you magnetic. So those
Mm.
pillars, I believe, are what really make us, well, my personal belief is what really makes us a positive and optimistic soul in this universe.
Mm. Powerful, brother. Powerful. So talk to me about what brought you to pursue the inner work. So what brought you to pursuing doing the inner work, working on yourself from within? What was your motivation and inspiration to work on yourself? And what are the benefits that you've seen through doing that work?
Well, I feel like everybody in life has to do inner work within themselves in order to really achieve another level of yourself. Like, you know how in video games, when people play video games, they level up as their character goes through the game. Essentially, that's the same thing in life. We're constantly leveling up. So we need to do that inner work within ourselves to essentially level up. And uh, what really drove me to dig deep within myself and do the inner work is just I started to become my awareness started to grow. I said, listen, like I'm stuck in the same place. Have no direction. And then you know, if you are growing up as a man, especially also women as well, and you're reaching a certain age and you have no like goals, ambitions, drive, or any sense of like direction, you're gonna end up falling into a depression. There's no purpose. You start to lack that feeling of purpose and that motivation and that confidence and that drive. And I felt that that was all depleting in a way. Um, so I figured like instead of being a victim of the world, I need to take control of myself and make this world work for me as opposed to just floating in society. Because I see that now. It feels like people who've accepted that fate and are not willing to work on themselves, they're alive, but essentially in society, it's like they're dead inside. And I see it a lot here. I see it a lot here. And when you become more aware, you start to notice that and you want to help others. You know what I mean? You want to help people. Um, so I started to feel that. That's kind of where my anxiety started to kick in. You know, my little slight depressive phase that I was going through. But yeah, it starts from within, man. It really starts from within and figuring out, getting clear on who you are, being in tune with yourself, being in tune with really what motivates you, what drives you, and just putting forth that action. Life isn't perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect, as I like to say. And you know, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna go through these experiences. That's okay. It's part of life. We have positive and we have negative experiences from the way we perceive them, but we're always growing. We're always There's always ways to reframe stuff to make it as if like, okay, this is working for me instead of this stuff happening to me, as Ed Milet likes to say, who I'm a big fan of as well.
That's a powerful statement. That's a
But
powerful statement.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
man, and yeah,
go
go
for it. Go
for it.
for it.
No, that's all. Yeah.
Talk to the viewers about what do you feel or see, even in your experience, holds people back from leveling up and reaching their highest potential. So, like in your experience or the people that you see around you, what holds them back? What keeps people stuck where they're at, and what holds them back from getting to where they want to be?
So, in my personal experience, a lot of what I see in people that really holds them back, and I've been there. You know what I mean? I've been there, so I can speak from experience. People are just one; they're not aware yet, and that's okay. That comes with age. You know what I mean? You start to become more aware as you become like older in life, but also it's like that sense of lack of, like I was talking about before, it's like settling. You know what I mean? That settling factor. Oh, this is comfortable. Oh, they start to look short term. This is comfortable for me short term. You know, when you settle and when you become complacent, you're never pushing yourself to achieve higher standards, to get out of your comfort zone, to learn, to build, to grow, to network. You're kind of just stuck in your own little bubble. And you know, if you like, if that works for you, okay, but you're never but I feel like that halts your progression. You know what I mean? It's like you've accepted your fate already, and you're kind of just living out your days. Uh and you know, just being not being receptive, just very closed off, not open minded. Uh, that really, I feel like, just essentially just sets you back. You know what I mean? You need to embrace life for what life is. You need to be open. You need to be open to learning. You need to accept the value, learn from the value from others, um, even if it's the truth and you may not want to hear it. Uh, we have to learn as much as we can, and just be open, and we have to provide that value as well. We have to share as well. We have to be our true individual selves. We have to be honest and real. And I feel like society needs more of that. And that's why I feel like we're kind of living in times where people like us, positive, optimistic people need to reach out, need to give more, need to spread that value. Uh, and if you hold yourself back, if you never really take any action, it's gonna halt your progression, man. For real.
Yeah, brother. You also brought up about learning from others and being teachable. So being able to learn. So
Mm-hmm.
can you talk about identifying yourself as a beginner mindset or embodying a student of life, a learner? So being able to learn from others, being able to learn from your mistakes, being able to learn from life. Like, what are the benefits of identifying yourself as a student of life?
Just exponential growth. It never ends. The growth of being a student of life. Every single day is a new experience. We get to grow. You know what I mean? Uh, so like, you know, just looking at it, reframing everything from a positive, optimistic view, instead of saying, oh, another day, Monday again. We look at, yeah, it's Monday. Like, what can I do today to grow myself? What can I do to crush it today? Like, okay, I know what I got to do that's going to make me feel good. I'm going to do the mindfulness. I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to go work out, get exercise, get into my body instead of being in my head. I'm going to just eat the proper foods that I need to eat, supply myself with the proper nutrition so I feel amazing, so I feel like I could conquer the day. And I'm just going to have, prioritize what I need to do, journal, take action steps on what I need to do to just conquer everything. And it's a process. I used to wake up every morning and just go straight late. I used to wake up late in the morning, like where I have to jump in the shower right away. And before that, I'm on my phone for 30 minutes scrolling Instagram, social media, messages, whatever. And I feel like there's night and day difference between the way you start your day. And I felt less irritable, less cranky, less anger. And when we have all these repressed emotions, they bottle up. We bottle them up inside until they eventually just explode out. So it's just about being like a student of life. You have to be disciplined. You have to like focus on what works for you, what serves you, what's going to help you be the best version of yourself that day, and just take the actionable steps to doing that and celebrate your wins. A lot of us have beliefs that we're not good enough, that like, oh, we didn't achieve this, we didn't achieve that. Our brains automatically will think into something that's negative, but we got to celebrate our wins as well. You know what I mean? Pat ourselves on the back. If we do something, the small wins are what adds up. Just jumping on today, doing this podcast, our first show, that's a small win, and it's only gonna excel and grow from there. That's what's being a student of life is, doing these experiences and learning from them. Even if you feel like it's a failure and it doesn't work out, what have you learned from that experience? What are you able to take away? How can you reframe it into a positive, optimistic view? And that's what changed for me.
Wow, there's so much to dive into that and so much value here.
Yeah,
Dude, I want to
absolutely.
go all over the place with what you just said. So
Mhm.
you brought up how you start your day. So can you talk a little bit about a morning ritual and like an evening ritual? Like how does a morning and an evening ritual support you? That discipline in the first start of the day and then the ending of the day. How does that support you?
So the morning and evening ritual are definitely factors into being a high performer. 100%. And everybody who's busy, everybody who's running their own business, who's doing multiple different things, who's going to school, who's out there to do what they're meant to do, they're living their life. We all have a ritual in some sort, you know what I mean? That's in our nature. So we have to be disciplined, we have to be consistent, and it really benefits me. So like, I know that I have a hyperactive brain. If I wake up and go automatically checking my phone, the news, this and that, especially the news nowadays, it's nothing but stress. So you're wiring your brain into that stressful state, and you're going about your day like that, rushing to get breakfast done, rushing to get your coffee and whatever. You have to ground yourself. You have to be present in the moment. Our minds, our bodies, our spirits, our souls, it's all intertwined. It's all interconnected with one another, man. And we need to know that. We need to do what's good for our soul, man. Our rituals help feed our soul to be our best selves, to be a high performer, to be the best version of ourselves we can be. So my way, what I like to do, definitely practice mindfulness meditation, which you got me into, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Definitely going into the gym. Just today I woke up, I noticed I was in my head a little bit. You know, I had a lot of things that was working up in here, a lot of rumination. I dragged my ass to the fucking gym and I got a great workout. I got into my body and it was incredible, you know. So just getting into your body, and you know, if I have time in the mornings, I would like I work, I do reading as well. Um, so yeah, man, just
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. So great value for your listeners. So making
yeah.
sure the first thing you do when you wake up, uh, don't check your phone because that's gonna overstimulate you.
Hmm.
Then getting into a grounding practice like meditation or mindfulness. So doing that and then doing some movement to get into your body. So awesome value that
Yes.
you provided for the viewers.
Also,
Mhm.
also, I got a little thrown off there because the screen on my end uh, froze for a second. But I also wanted to add in there. I do the journaling as well. Journaling is so essential as well. As a high performer, when you have a lot of stuff going on in your head, I found it very beneficial to write it down, to journal. First, when I start my weeks, I like to plan out my week, you know, what I set out to achieve for that week. And I take it day by day. Every single day, I write in my journal what's my intention, what I plan to achieve, what my goals are, what my missions are, and I knock that out of the park. And then for my nightly ritual, I look back on what I wrote in the morning and I said, okay, did I achieve this? Did, you know, how was my performance for that day? And yeah, I found that to be incredibly, you know, beneficial.
Awesome, brother. So everyone who's listening, a morning and evening ritual is so powerful for high performance, for human optimization. So waking up, not checking your phone, getting into a meditation or a mindfulness practice, journaling, reading, moving your body, and then going through the day, planning your day out, and then in the evening, getting into an evening ritual. So that would look like, again, meditation, releasing that tension from the day, and also journaling
Hmm.
and reading as well. So getting your body prepared for sleep. So
Hmm.
morning and evening ritual is so important for high performance. So thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah, you
yeah,
know, if you can, I also, you know, I like to indulge in watching TV every once in a while, but cut back on that TV, especially at night before you go to bed. You don't want to be watching too much TV. You know, just see what type of information you can get from a book and what type of value you can get from a book. It will really support you.
for sure, bro, for sure. Can you also talk about lifestyle? So you brought up lifestyle, you brought up nutrition, you brought up exercise, you brought up supplementation. What what is the effect that you've seen in your experience about lifestyle, about nutrition, about moving your body, how it affects your mood, and how it supports you with your high performance?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So nutrition is super key. When you start to really focus in on your diet, whichever diet works for you, I'm not here to say, you know, that you should be on a certain particular diet. Everybody's different. There are different diets that work for different people. But when you find out which diet works for you, which diet supports you, it will be night and day compared to eating junk. And I used to eat fast food. I used to eat fast food all the time, unhealthy foods. You just don't feel as good anymore. Like when I take it, it doesn't. First of all, I don't even like the taste of it anymore, and second of all, you just don't. The energy that you get from it is just not a. It's not as good. Like food is energy, you know. So we vibrate at a frequency, and we need our frequency to be top tier. So when what we're putting into our body is the energy that we're getting from with the that we're processing. You know what I mean? It's our vibration. So
Mm,
yeah, when you really start to like focus in on a proper diet and you start to exercise and go to the gym, you see these results on your body and you feel amazing. It's good for the mental health. Like I said, everything's interconnected. So mental health, physical health, spiritual health, it's good for everything. It's good for the soul, man. Diet and nutrition is so important, and that's a particular reason that I want to go learn to become a dietitian, because that's the foundation, in my opinion. We all eat. We need to eat the best foods that serve us, not up here, but in the long term. You know what I mean? Long term benefits. Oh, like, and eventually the taste is gonna follow. We're gonna eventually just start to love whichever foods that we're eating, the healthy foods.
Man, I love what you shared just now. So what I heard you say is that we're actually vibrational beings. So we're energy, we're energy, vibration, and frequency. So whatever we're putting into our body, that vibration is going to support our frequency. So if we're eating junk
Mhm.
food, it's going to lower our vibration. If we're eating whole, nutrient dense, organic, wild caught, grass fed, pasture raised, high quality, nutrient dense food, that's going to increase our vibration. So if you want to be a high performer,
Yes.
you want to eat the best food, so it'll support you, and it'll raise your vibration of frequency and energy. So remember that we're energy, vibration, and frequency. So whatever you put in your body, that's what you're going to feel and experience. As well as with movement, I'm grateful that you shared movement and how it supports mental and emotional health, how it supports getting into your body. So again, we're energy beings, so moving your body definitely supports as well. So again, with nutrition, with supplementation, with exercise,
Mhm.
it's all interconnected. As you said, we're integrative beings. It's not just one thing, it's everything together. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
I
and
just want to
go
share.
for it, go for it.
Yeah, I just want to share that diet and exercise, and these rich, and implementing an evening ritual and a morning ritual, it benefited my mental health tremendously. My mental health was like, instead of actually like going and using some sort of prescription drug to cure my mental health, I just took it upon myself to naturally focus on myself and work on myself and cure my anxiety in a natural sense of way. And yeah, it takes a bit longer. Yeah, it takes a lot more work, but it works. It's so beneficial that we understand this. You know what I mean? The nutritional value, what we put in our body, exercise. That's what gets us out of this rut. If we're ever feeling in a negative sort of rut, anxiety, depression, we need to focus on implementing that in our lives, so it will support us.
You heard it, people. So whenever you're feeling these low vibrational emotions like depression or anxiety, whenever you're in that space, what you can do is just focus on your lifestyle. So eat the proper food, eat healthy, nutrient dense, move your body.
Yeah.
So it'll support everything. It'll support your well-being. It'll support your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. So awesome that you brought that up. And
Absolutely. And I don't mean to knock on any, like prescription medication. It could be beneficial. I'm not knocking it and saying it's not beneficial. I'm just saying in my personal experience.
Yeah. So can you talk about your personal experience with when you had like those experiences with depression and anxiety, and what the prescription psychiatric drugs did to you, and how what the side effects were?
Everybody's different. So for me personally, it just, there are people that use it and, use certain prescription medications and it supports them tremendously. I can't be one to knock and say that, you shouldn't do it. But from my personal experience, yeah, I just had side effects, and made me feel like a zombie inside. You know what I mean? Like I just had no emotion, no energy, no drive. I was numb. I wasn't feeling that pain. Instead of digging deep from within and figuring out why am I feeling a pain and what can I do to work on that, and like analyzing what I'm doing in my life and what I need to fix, I just numbed that pain. And you can't numb emotion, and it's not living life. It's not like, emotions are there for a reason. You know what I mean? That's part of us. That's part of life. So that's just what I was feeling. I had these side effects. It wasn't for me. I had to cycle it off.
Yeah, I hear you, brother, and it's great that
Yeah.
you followed a more natural route, a more holistic route. And I love
Yeah.
what you just brought up. So instead of it numbing you, um, actually getting to the root cause. So getting to what is causing the repressed emotions to come up, or what is causing the depression and anxiety. So getting to the root cause is where
Hmm.
the work begins. So
Hmm.
can you
And
share?
anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. Yeah.
Anybody, bro. Anybody. Yeah. So I wanna get into a little more high performance and getting into the topic of my podcast. So can you share with the viewers what has supported you to get to the place where you're at right now? How what does it take to be a high performer? What does it take to reach your highest potential?
Man, I'm still working on being a high performer and still working on on reaching my highest potential. I'm just getting started.
It's a
But
process.
yeah, it's a process. But what does it take? I know from right now, I can tell you it takes a lot of discipline. It takes strength. It takes courage. It takes owning yourself, owning who you are from within, and being able to express that into the external world by detaching yourself from unnecessary emotions from the external world. So like goes back to my pillars, like you acknowledge it, you understand it, you accept it. That allows me personally to detach from things that I don't feel is worth it or necessary, to not focus on the small issues and just focus on what's going to benefit me, what's going to serve me, and being and vibrating at my frequency, just being my true individual authentic self. And life is going to go through a filterization process, you know what I mean? When you start to do that, your life will start to filterize. The people who don't benefit you and who don't serve you, you're going to see them slowly fade away for some reason. And the people who do acknowledge you, understand you, and accept you, and respect you and support you truly and genuinely are going to stay in your life. And you're going to do the same for them. You're going to vibrate at the same energy. It's all natural,
Wow.
man. You have to just let life filterize itself out. And it's constantly going. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're not in control of what we can control. We're not in control of the external universe, only of ourselves. So we just we just own ourselves. We're in tune with ourselves. We're at one with ourselves, and then we surrender into the universe, and we just let the universe do its thing and filterize for us.
Brother, I love that, man. I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I want to jump into a topic that you brought up recently. You said repressed emotions. So, can you talk a little bit
Yeah.
about what repressed emotions you noticed? Can you talk about triggers? Can you talk about past trauma? How that affects repressed emotions coming up? So, like, if you've noticed that somebody says or does something, or something happens, you get triggered, and the repressed emotions of, for example, anger comes up. How does that show up, and what did you experience, and what are some action steps that you took to overcome that in a healthy way?
So it started out from me being young. When I was a young kid, whenever I would feel angry, I had no filter. I would just express my anger. I would tell you like, "Hey, shut the fuck up," or if you wanted to, as kids, as boys, we would fight. We would do this and that. That's how we would let our anger out, and that's it. It would be done with, but we wouldn't hold that in internally. It would be taken care of, and it would be done. But as I started to grow up later in life, I was told by people I needed to act a certain way. I needed to, this is what it's considered should get me angry. This is what shouldn't get me angry. And then if I would share what would get me angry, they'd be like, "Oh, come on, like it's not valid." You know, like just and that's just an example. But like we're taught to feel a certain type of way. We're taught to like not really truly express our emotions. We're taught that in school all the time. No talking, or no expressing, you know what I mean? Oh, if you like show any sort of anger, like you're getting in trouble, you're getting suspended or whatever. So we're taught that, we're institutionalized to like not really. And even from depending on like who your guardians are, your parents, whatever, everybody's situation is different, but I felt like I was taught to repress my emotions. And it's also genetic too, like I feel like, because I've seen my father repress emotions as well. And that's a normal thing. A lot of people go through these repressed emotions, if not everybody. So um for me, a lot of repressed emotion was anger. um but I was also not really, as I was getting older, I was not expressing it. So I was just holding on to that burden from within. And when we don't express it, when we don't acknowledge our feelings and emotions, they're there, they're valid, they're still internally deep inside of us. So we just keep bottling it up until it eventually snaps. You see it all the time. People who are non-confrontational, people pleasers. You know, I would consider myself in that category as well before back then. And we a flaw to that is when you're constantly bottling up these emotions, and because you're afraid of confrontation, you're afraid of offending, you're afraid of saying the wrong thing, or doing the wrong action, and it eventually just leads it's a way to destruction, because you just keep bottling that up. You need that release. You know what I mean? You need to know that it's there, and you need to release it in a healthy way, of course. I mean, we're adults, but figuring that out, being aware that like what's there, and just acknowledging it. So what I like to say now, if something angers me, first of all, I would say what I'm feeling in my mind. So I'm not going to be rude or disrespectful. I'll express it to you. But if I'm also angry, I would just let the situation know, like, hey, listen, like I'm in an angry state right now. I need to de-stress. That's it. But acknowledging that it's there and getting rid of it right there and then is so much better than bottling it up. And that goes for any sort of emotion. And yeah.
Oh, that's awesome that you share that. So what I heard you say is that from childhood, in our childhood, especially us little boys, we were able to feel those emotions. We were able to feel it, but we were also able to express it and
Yeah.
release it in a healthy way, whatever way that was, whatever coping way we were able to
Hmm.
release it, and then just move on. We didn't repress it, we didn't hold on to it, we didn't bottle it up. We just moved on. We released it. But over time, as society taught us to don't say this, don't say that, don't feel this, don't feel that. This is good, this is bad, this is right or wrong.
Hmm.
And then we learned the
And we
coping
try to
ways. Yeah,
adjust. Yeah,
exactly.
coping ways, exactly.
We
Yeah.
try to we try, like you said, yeah, we try to adjust. We um started coping. We had these coping mechanisms to, again, like you said, people please, to accept love and accept acceptance from other people. And that created
Hmm.
a lot of rage, a lot of anger within us, and that created repressed emotions with us. And then when we get triggered from a situation or what somebody says, that button is being pushed within us, and that just shows that there
Hmm.
is inner trauma that gets to be healed, because a repressed emotion
Mm.
comes up, like anger, like you said. And
Yeah.
most of the time, if it's not released or there's no awareness behind it, it gets expressed in unhealthy ways. So that's where it
Hmm.
goes into toxic masculinity, uh, expressing anger and rage in unhealthy ways. So,
Hmm.
what are some ways? First of all, let's talk about masculinity as well. So, like us men, like what do you in your life? What are some of the things that you were told not to say or not to do? How to show up as a man, and what it means to be a man? Like what it means to be a healthy man.
So in my life, I grew up watching my older brother, and I grew up watching my father and how they are as men. And I would see, I would learn a lot from them. I would take a lot from them, and I would see what I align with, what I feel is right, and what I feel is wrong. And when we start to become aware of who we are as men, we we start to be aware of, like, okay, not everybody's perfect. So I have struggles that I need to work on, but I'm aware of what I need to work on. So instead of being a victim of society saying, oh, it's everybody else's problem, you should maybe dig deep and say and think about, okay, what can I do? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me that's the problem. So what could I do to work on myself? If I'm getting mad over a certain type of situations that's not worth getting mad over, and I'm having tantrums like a child, like, maybe that's something unresolved. Like you said, it's unresolved from within. And instead of blaming it on others, that's how you lose people. That's how you push people away. That's a negative vibration. That's a negative frequency. You need to become more aware and work on, well, okay, what and I'm not saying it's all the time, because obviously you need to let people go to, if they're if it's not, if your energies are not on aligned. But it's also like, okay, what could I do? You need to step out from a different perspective, and say, okay, what could I do? Maybe it's me, maybe there's something that I need to work on within myself, and then continue to work on that. And people will, I feel like in my experience, will true ones will support you for that, and true ones will actually tell you, look, man, like, this is what I noticed in you, and I feel like, we could work on this. And then that's where constructive criticism comes in. But uh it's always just like about like, what could you do to improve upon yourself? And if a situation needs you to just pull back from it, you pull back from it. Like I said, you are at I'm speaking for myself right now. In my case, like, I'm not in control of other people. Like, I'm only in control of myself. So, you know, I can, just focus on my awareness. What could I do to keep improving on myself? If I need to say something, I'll say it. I'll speak my truth. If the person wants to be receptive and help, and grow from there, then that's great. If not, then not. But you're only in control of yourself.
I love that, bro. Everything that you say, it just resonates, and it just, I just feel it, man. Um, with
Great.
within what you just said about um, people calling you out on your shit and like holding you accountable, what have you
Hmm.
seen about being in a tribe of masculinity, being a tribe of other men, surrounding yourself with other men, or if you're a woman, surrounding yourself with other women? How has that supported you in your healing and your accountability and your growth and your high performance? Like, what is the benefit of surrounding yourself with other men in a tribe?
Well, first of all, the way I perceive it is, when you're surrounded yourself with other men or masculine energy, in our case, or feminine energy, if you're a woman, uh, that tribe that you surround yourself with, those people, you are, like, you're the product of your five friends. You know what I mean? Like, that's that, like, you are who you surround yourself with. So this is where you're getting most of your, information from, and this is where you're transitioning yourself from. So I realize right now it's super important, and I started to make this transition for myself, that you need to surround yourself with people who hold you accountable, call you out on your shit if it's negative, you being receptive to you having the respect for them enough to be able to be receptive, because the intentions are good. And uh just people who share optimism and positivity. I feel like a lot of people, they settle, or they're just not aware, and they're around people who don't have, their best interests in mind, or who don't really care, who essentially are just two-sided people who don't really, and you don't you start to feel this energy, that the energy is not, it's not a positive, it's not a optimistic energy. You're not growing from it. The whole point of a tribe is to help each other excel, help each other grow in life, and to, like I said, going back to my pillars: acknowledge, understand, accept, respect, and support one another. We need that. We yearn for that as humans. And that's so important, to surround yourself. If you want to achieve a certain level of success, you need to surround yourself with people who are doing that, who can who have knowledge in that, who can support you with that, or people who have already done that you can learn from. You know what I mean? Get mentors, get friends who truly respect you and support you for your goals and ambitions, and you respect them and support them for their goals and ambitions, and you hold each other accountable, and you have each other's best interests in mind. That way, we're we're always going to be in a positive, optimistic state. We're always, as adults, no matter what, even if situations don't like it, don't, we're never holding it back from one another. We'll express it with one another, so we're always on, our frequency is always on a good vibration. We're on the same level, same energy. And yeah, man, like, eventually in life, you're gonna go through people who aren't like that. That's why it's like, we always surround ourselves with like, later on you realize your circle gets smaller, but it's just the process of life. That's where it goes back to, like, the filterization process of life. You're gonna meet people, people are gonna filterize out. You're gonna meet people, and people are gonna stay. So you can't attach, like I said, like, this is what I learned from Lewis Howes, another great inspiration. He says you cannot attach yourself to the external. So when you attach yourself to another person or whatever, it's like you can't do that because you have to be so confident and so like in tune and so much in love with yourself that if you were to lose another person tomorrow, you would still be good. It would be painful, but you would still be good. You need to be in tune with yourself from within and not attach yourself to anything in the external. I just felt like sharing that. That just came to mind.
Dude,
So
that is amazing. I love what you
yeah.
just shared. So everyone that's listening, if you're a man, if you want to grow and if you want to reach your highest potential, if you want to be a high performer, then it's so important for you to surround yourself with other like-minded men. Get into a tribe, find a Facebook group,
Mhm.
go out into your community, find that support system with other men, with other like-minded men that will support you, that will hold you accountable, that will call you out on your shit,
Yeah.
in the best loving intentional ways. So surround yourself
Mhm.
with other like-minded men. If you're a woman, surround yourself with other women that will support you
Like
as well. So it's so
yeah.
important
You
to be in a tribe. Yeah.
you need to get clear on your intentions, your ambitions, and your goals, and who you are, and excuse me, and allow and just do what it takes to get to that. You know what I mean? And people, you'll know who really like will respect and support you from there, and then you'll just keep those people around. But you, the energy that you get, you're also giving, so you're giving that type of energy as well. You know what I mean? You're vibrating on the same frequency. So
Yeah. So getting clear
and
on your intentions, getting clear on what you
yeah,
want, getting clear on who you want to surround yourself with, how they're going to serve you, how you're going to serve
yeah,
them. So bringing value.
that's
Go
what will
for it.
guide you. Like once you get clear on that, that's what will guide you. You will end up, traveling to networking events, people who are on the same, have the same ambitions as you. You know what I mean? Like that's super huge. That's how you network. That's how you grow. You know what I mean? Like anybody can do it. I was by myself. I would travel to different states to networking events, and I would meet people who are great people who are still in my life today. You know what I mean? It's just you gotta put yourself at, like I say, get yourself out of your comfort zone and just keep on get clear on what you want, get out of your comfort zone and keep doing what you got to do, and it will filterize into place. Your
Dude,
universe will
again,
unfold.
so much value and so many things that I want to touch on about what you just said. So, if you want to reach a high performing level, if you want to reach your highest potential, you get to surround yourself with like minded people. So, get into a tribe. You get to get uncomfortable. You get to know what you want, have a vision for what you want, have an intention. And can you share with the viewers about your experience with traveling to Arizona by yourself, getting uncomfortable, getting out of that comfort zone, and going to that seminar, and your experience with getting out of your comfort zone and growing through that experience?
Yeah. So Arizona, I actually just spontaneously just decided to move there for a couple months. Yeah. It's just I was just so like in a spot where I was like, I gotta get out of my comfort zone. Like, what could I do to change my environment right now? Like, because at that point I was also just like I didn't have my shit figured out. I'm young, like I'm just like I gotta shift this experience that I'm living in right now and put myself so far out of my comfort zone, so then like I would maybe just start to figure shit out. Maybe I'll get clear on it. So yeah, spontaneously I was, I have a cousin out there. I visited him, and I'm like, yo, dude, I'm like, can I move into here by like next month? He was like, I don't know if he was like, he thought I was serious or not. He was like, yeah, man, like whatever, like, just pay me rent and and you're set. I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, and I don't think he was serious until like the last week. And he's like, dude, you're really moving out here? I'm like, hell yeah. So, so like, I just went out there, man. It's completely Phoenix and New York are completely different places, man. But it was such a freaking great experience, man. I learned so much from there. Even though like I wasn't really able to figure out my life, and like I didn't really stay there long enough to like pursue a life out there. I was just there a couple months. It got me moving, man. It got me out of my That's why I like to travel so much, because traveling just it changes your state. You know what I mean? Like it breaks routine. So it gets you out of your comfort zone. It gets the juices flowing, so when I did something like that far out, it was just such a good experience that I was able to learn so much from. And uh and yeah, like I really feel like that was like a big pivotal moment in my life, because it was also a moment where I could have been like, okay, am I gonna do this and take action on what I said to my word, or am I gonna bitch out? And there's no way I was bitching out, dude. So
Wow. So what are the
yeah.
biggest lessons you learned through that experience? Like what are those wise lessons you learned through that experience?
Well, I got to actually experience the West Coast. I was out in California also for a bit, and that was my first time really like experiencing the West Coast, and I got to really experience how just lifestyles are completely different, man. I got there, the people that I was talking to, just completely different paradigms, different perspectives, different perceptions, whole different worlds, man. That's why traveling is so fascinating to me. And even though we're still Americans, it's like a whole different life. It's a whole different ball game out there. So just putting myself in a situation where I'm like kind of like the interesting one. I'm the one that stands out. So uh yeah, man, just that was like a great experience. And another experience is just kind of like putting myself in a position where, all right, I'm pretty much on my own out here. Like I just kind of put myself in a position where I don't really know anybody, like two people out there, and I gotta like get a fresh start and start building from the ground up. And it was definitely something to put people. I'm gonna put myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm sure it would be put others out of their comfort zone. But that's where life is. That's where the juice of life is. That's where you grow. That's where you're living. It's not where you're alive but dead inside. You're actually alive and you're living. You're experiencing life for what life is. You know.
Yes.
So that's a
Yes,
big
yo.
lesson from me. That was huge.
Man, everyone who is listening right now, what you just heard. So, if you want to reach your highest potential, if you want to grow, if you want to be at a level of high performance, you get to get out of your comfort zone. You get to do things that are uncomfortable. So, if you notice you are feeling fear, go after it. Go through that fear, because it takes courage and strength to go through fear. But at the other side, you're going to experience growth, man. That's where it is. That's where the juice is. I love what you just said, man. Like, so
Dude, you
live
can
your
either,
life.
yeah. You can either accept your fate, be comfortable, complacent, and be alive but dead inside because you're not growing, or you can fucking get yourself out of your comfort zone, do these exhilarating things like try different things, be open, and be alive and experiencing life, because you're getting so much new experiences, so much new growth. Like that's what life is, man. It's huge.
Yeah, that's
It's
it. You're
huge.
you're right, man. You're right. Life is about living. Life is about experiencing, getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of that fucking bubble, taking action, and just doing whatever the fuck it takes. So that's it. There's no more playing
Yeah.
small. There's no more babying around. If you want to be a strong masculine man, or if you want to be a feminine leader as well, if you want to be a leader for your community and as well for the world, we need leaders right now. We need leaders. We need to step up. We need to embody more masculine energy for men. We get to take
Especially
ownership. We get to
nowadays.
take
Yeah.
especially nowadays, man. Especially nowadays, we get to take responsibility and ownership for our actions, and just get out of our comfort zone. Get out of your fucking head. Take action and just do whatever it takes. And can you
Yeah,
talk? Yeah,
and
go.
the fear that you might be feeling, it's not you. It's just the feeling that you're feeling. Once you're able to detach yourself from that and understand why you're feeling
Yes.
that type of way, you're able to overcome it. And like, yeah, most of the time when we're in our heads and ruminating about the certain fear, it's not even valid. Like people, I in my experience, obviously, this is, I'm only speaking about my experience. This is why I'm fascinated, because I want to hear other people's stories and like how they've conquered this. But it's like uh everybody like, well, damn, what was I gonna say? Like everybody has something to share in that sense where you can learn from, but it's also just like it's also just doing it. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna overcome it regardless. Like we're meant to overcome. You know what I mean? You're meant to be your own leader. What is a leader if you're not up front, up center, and taking control and taking action? You know what I mean? And some people are afraid of that fear of confrontation. Okay, but that confrontation won't kill you. It's an experience that you need to do to grow, to excel. Afraid of like problems, conflicts. You need to experience that in order to grow and to excel. Like it's just Yeah, it's leveling up. Like going back to what we were talking about in the beginning, it's just leveling up. And we're gonna always we're always gonna come to points where we're dealing with this stuff. Every single individual. That's why everybody has their own story. Every single individual has to deal with this. So when we overcome it, you know what I mean? That fear is just fear. There's the grass is greener on the other side. And if it's not, and if you fall in mud, you learn from the experience and you get your ass up and you keep going. That's it.
Yes. Yes, yo. You guys just heard it right now. You just heard it. So, if you want to be a leader, if you want to take responsibility and take action and create impact and create change and just support your communities and support this world because it needs it right now. It needs leaders. It needs that masculine energy, that healthy masculine energy. Get
Yeah.
out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone and live life. Stop being dead inside. Take action, face your fears, and just take action. Just keep moving forward. If you, again, like you said, if you fall down, if you fall into that mud, get the fuck back up.
Gotta
Get
expect
up.
to. You gotta
Get up.
expect to. You gotta expect to keep falling down,
Yeah,
especially if you're just trying out. Nothing's ever perfect at the
exactly.
first
And
go
again,
around.
have that tribe, have that support system to pick you back up. Have that
Yeah.
accountability, have that support, have
And
that tribe.
if you don't, you're right, have that tribe. But if you're in a position where you don't have that tribe, do the inner work. Keep on finding yourself from within.
Yes.
You know, do stuff on your own. Like do shit on
Yes.
your own. Like I got through like some people that I've spoken to are like, you know, I tell them experiences that I've done on my own and they're like, "Oh wow, like I don't think I could have done that alone. I wouldn't need to have like friends with me." I'm like, "Well, no, you could do that alone and you meet people along the way." Like
Yes.
it's also like there's no reason to fear to be doing shit alone. You want to do something, you go fucking do it and you see how filterized transitions from there. We no matter what, here's another one. Here's another key that I would like to share to the viewers. We're always learning, we're growing from these experiences. We're transforming, transitioning, and transcending ourselves. The three T's: transforming, transitioning,
Wow.
transcending.
Wow.
And
Talk about that.
no
Talk
matter
about that.
what the experience, yeah, no matter what the experience is, we're always transforming, transitioning, and transcending. Even if it was positive or negative, whatever, if you regret it, whatever, this, that, and the third, it doesn't matter what the experiences is. The fact that you overcame it, the fact that you're still alive and breathing and centered in the moment means you've lived through that experience and that's your own experience and you own it. You know what I mean? And you take responsibility for it and that's yours and you're a new evolved person after.
Wow, brother. Wow. Wow. That's all I got to say. Wow, man. So
This is
much.
all from
Wow.
inner dialogue, man. This is all from
Wow.
meditation. Dude, yeah. It's all within us, man. It's really all within us.
Wow. You guys see it. It's doing the inner work, facing your trauma, healing your trauma, going
Yeah.
within, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, getting into a
Yeah.
tribe or a community that will support you, focusing on lifestyle, taking care of your mental health, your emotional health, releasing repressed emotions in a healthy way, like taking action and moving your body, releasing that energy, eating
Mm-hmm.
healthy, focusing on nutrition, whole nutrient dense food to increase your vibration, move your body, get out of your comfort zone, take action, travel, do things on your own, experience life, live life, get out of your comfort zone. That's it. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. Be disciplined. Have a morning and
Yes.
evening ritual. Ground yourself.
Yeah.
Meditate. Journal. Read. Learn. Have an open mind. Embody a characteristic and identification of a student of life. Those are the things that takes to be a high performer and reach your highest potential. And there's so much more. So
100%.
yeah.
100, and that's right. And I also would like to share, also adding into that, uh, even if you're at a position where you feel like you're doing this alone, as long as you're being real, honest, genuine, truthful within yourself, you are going to, no, even if it seems scary, no matter what, your energy, because we're all energy, we all feel energy. You're going to attract, even if you don't feel like it, you're going to attract people who vibrate at your frequency and they're going to be like, wow, like this
Yes.
person, even if you feel like alone, they're going to respect you so much because you're going to attract the right people because you're being real with yourself, your real vibrations, you're attracting real people who acknowledge, understand, accept, respect you, and that's what leads to a tribe.
That's it,
So
brother. Wow.
and
So again,
and you
yeah.
know, the more you keep doing it, the higher it'll grow, the more people that will respect you, and three times more people will probably hate you and be negative, but that's okay. That's a
Mm,
part of life. As long as you keep putting yourself out there, you keep being you, and just focusing on the people who truly, you're gonna get people who truly respect you. That's how you
mm,
build a community, by being a leader from within yourself. It's sexy, it's attractive, like this is what we're meant to do.
mm, mm. Wow, man. Wow. You heard it. Go within, work on
Magnetic,
yourself.
yep.
Magnetic. Yeah, you're going to be attractive. You're going to attract that tribe. You're going to attract that frequency. You're
Like,
going to
think
attract
about
those
it.
people.
For men, this is what we aspire to do. Even for women, that's what I mean, it's sexy and attractive. Because if a woman is on her goal, on her path and ambitions, how attractive is that? You know, same
Sure.
for women
Yeah.
who view men. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They want men who are on their path, within in
Mm,
tune with themselves. It's
yeah.
it's a magnetic energy. It's a magnetic frequency. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, can you talk about the importance of having a why, so knowing your purpose in life and having a vision for what you want to create, for where you want to be, and having the action steps in place for a man, so a masculine man. How important is a purpose, a mission, a vision, and action steps?
That's what drives us. If we don't have a mission, if we don't have a goal, if we don't have action steps, we're just floating in the universe. We're just living life. We're just, no, we're just like existing in life, but we're just floating, and that's what will lead to anxiety. That's what will lead to that, because we need a drive, we need purpose, we need something to fight for, to strive forward to. If we don't have that and we're just existing, we're left without a purpose, and that will drive somebody crazy. um so it's super important to get clear. First, get clear on who you are, no matter how much inner work that takes. And then it will come. You will decide, like, you will start to be like, okay, what is my purpose? What's my drive? And it's going to change throughout life. We're always, like I said, we're transitioning, we're transcending. So it's going to change. But in the current present moment, what do I look to aspire? What do I look to achieve? It's going to come when you're in tune with yourself. And then you just need to start taking action to start doing that. That's like when I was younger, like I'm 24 right now, but when I was like 21, 22, I had a whole different view of life. Oh, the way I saw myself to where I see myself now. It's gonna change. It's a process, but we need to be in tune with ourselves. We need to get clear. We need to have that awareness, and we just need to do the practices of what it takes to get there. And that way, no matter how long it takes, everybody's on their own, path in life, but it will eventually lead you to a sense of fulfillment, because you're doing what your intentions are.
Yeah, and can you share with the viewers and the listeners about how can you realize your purpose and your vision? So like if somebody doesn't know what they want, or if somebody doesn't know why they're here on this planet, like what their purpose is, how can you realize and understand what's your purpose in life and what you want and who you
Well,
are?
first of all, man, first of all, we're all on this planet for a reason, okay? Everybody has a gift that they can provide, that they can
Yes.
share. I can learn from anybody. If you ever feel like you have no purpose, and that, you don't there's no reason for you to exist on this planet, no. That's not the case. That's just wrong, okay? Everybody has a purpose, and to get there, it's doing the inner work. Increase your awareness. We are energy, okay? We're energy. We are energy, in our bodies right now, okay? I'm existing, my soul's existing in this body right now. I'm taking form in this body right now. But we all have a purpose. We all have a sense of being that drives us. Do the inner work, get clear on that, okay? And you are your own, unique individual self. You have your own paradigm, you have your own perspective, your own perception. We're all different individuals. I'm not you, so I never lived the life that you lived, or the way you saw life, and same goes vice versa. So you are special, you are unique, you are your own personal individual, and you get to be that, and you get to own that. So don't let distorted thoughts overtake that. Get out of your own head. Get out of it. I know it's hard, but
Mm.
it's essential. Set up practices in place and take fucking action, no matter how
Mm.
hard it is. Even if you do one thing a
Yep.
day, uh, get that one thing done and be proud of it and keep it fucking going. It's a snowball effect, man.
Yes. Yes. Oh, wow. I
Straight
love
up.
that. I love that, man. I love that. I love that, man. Yeah. Have practices in place, meditation, cre- raise your vibration, raise your awareness through mindfulness. Get out of your own way. I love what you said. Get out of your own fucking way. Wow,
We
man.
are our own worst demise at times, man. We fuck
Yes.
ourselves up so bad sometimes in our own head, and we're
Mm.
giving it to, even if another person is trying to, another person can't control our internal selves. Who cares if someone's talking shit? Who cares? Who cares what another person thinks? That's them. That's their individualistic self and their perspective and perception from their paradigm of you. But you are you. You're not the vision of nobody else. You get to create your life.
Yes. Yes, brother.
That's
Yes.
it, dude.
Yes. Don't
That's it.
let
Like
those.
once I
Yeah.
started to, yeah. Once I'm sorry, bro. Once I
Go
started
for it.
to
Go for it.
realize that, that's when you start to feel like I don't like, happiness is one thing, but it's when you just start to feel like you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
obviously it's tough. We go through moments, we have a whole bunch of different emotions, but when you're just in tune with yourself and you detach from that external
Mm.
like external things bothering you like that, you're just living, man. You just get to create and do what you want to create and do, and nobody can hold you back. And if you're holding yourself back and you're blaming it on somebody else, oh, they're holding me back. Oh, that's you giving that. It's you giving a reason, but
Mm.
you're essentially holding your own self back,
It's giving your
and
power.
that's
It's giving your power away.
yeah,
It's being victim.
yeah,
It's playing victim. It's giving your power away to others. Yeah.
yeah.
One thing that I really want to touch on, that I see a lot of, is limiting beliefs. So the stories we tell ourselves, about our perspectives, our perceptions, our experiences that shaped our reality, the conditioning from the past. So how have you noticed your stories and limiting beliefs and the thoughts in your head control you or hold you back, or like get in your own way? So how do you get in your own way through those thoughts?
Well, how do I get in my own way through those thoughts? I would, we're harsh on ourselves as people. We know, especially if we're looking to be achieve at such a high level, we focus in a lot of on the negatives of us. It's like, oh, and it could be small things like, oh, my appearance wasn't up to par, or like, oh, like they must think this of me because I came off like this, or like you analyze. And a lot of us as analyzers, we fall victim of that because we're constantly analyzing situations. We're playing stuff back and we're trying to dissect everything, and we assume that our flaws are always noticed by other people, which they may be, but they also may not be. But at the end of the day, it's like we get to work on that, like another, you know what I mean? Like if you're constantly like just assuming that, oh, another person just sees my flaws, if that person is not really like, you're not hurting that person by just being you. Like if that person's not gonna tell you like, you know what it is, then you just keep it pushing, you just keep doing you know what I mean? Like unless the person like, brings it up to you straight up, then you can have a conversation and you go from there. But like, you are who you are. Like there's no need to overanalyze situations and get in your own. That's how you start to like hold yourself back. Like focus on your positives. Like I like to reframe it. Like I was, being very negative. I must, and that really hurt my self-esteem and confidence too. Because if you're constantly, bashing yourself and being negative, you start to distort your thoughts. So try to reframe it. Yes, there's always things we get to work on. We need to be aware of that. But we're perfectly imperfect humans. We could acknowledge what we need to work on, but we also could reframe it into a way like, okay, what positives do I bring? What positives do I offer to the table? Like why? Yeah, you just gotta own yourself. If you have like a certain look, and you're uncomfortable with the way that you look, own that look. That's you. If you want to work on it, then do the actionable steps it takes to work on that. But otherwise, you own yourself. Nobody, like you said, don't give your power away. You know?
Wow. Take your power back by being yourself. Be your authentic self. Be your true authentic
Mm-hmm.
self. Don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks or says about you. That's their perspective. That's their paradigms and perceptions and their experiences and their
Yeah.
conditioning. Don't give a fuck. Get out of your own fucking way. Detach from your thoughts. Your thoughts are not you.
Yeah.
You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness of those thoughts, of those feelings, of the emotions, and that the experience that you're experiencing right now.
In your
Remember
beliefs
that.
and your actions. Yeah, your beliefs
Yes.
and your actions. You are that. And it's tough because when we're growing up, you know, when we're still young and our brains are still forming, our awareness is, we're not really practicing awareness. So our awareness isn't that high. So we assume that we're the product of what other people think of us, but that's not. That's just their paradigms. Their like I said,
Yes.
their perspective, their perception of you.
Yes.
That's it. And they're them.
Mm.
And you have a
Yes.
paradigm, you have a perspective and perception of them,
Yes.
and they're not that too. They're just that in your, you know, of what you're creating. And we're all individuals just living on planet Earth. We share this earth, and we're just all living here.
Mm.
That's all we are. We're all our own individuals, and we all have our own paradigms, perspectives, perceptions. We're all living on planet Earth, and that's really about it. Like, we're not, you know, we just are who we are.
Yes.
That's it.
We are who we are. Again,
Once we
remember that.
Yeah, once we start to become more aware and detached from whatever traumas that we've had growing up, or like detached from, like, you know, from what other people think, we just, you know, we get to be ourselves. We get to be ourselves, and we get to create
Mm.
our lives by taking that action.
Mm.
Sorry, just super
Wow.
passionate about
I
that. I'm
love that,
sorry
brother. I love that.
if I
No,
feel
go
like I was
for it.
cutting you off or anything.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Express yourself, brother. Express that. Wow, I love that, man. So be
Yeah.
who you are. Be your authentic self. Take your power back. Set boundaries. Set boundaries with people. You get to set boundaries
Set
with
boundaries,
people.
super
Set,
important.
don't people
Yes.
please. Take your power back. Set
Don't.
boundaries, and just be who you are. Be your authentic self. Excavate and take off that mold of society's conditioning. Understand who you are
Yes.
as a being, as a spiritual being. Who are you? What do you want? What is your purpose in life? You are special, like you said. You are, everyone is here for a reason. We all have a gift and a contribution to create to this planet. So understand who you are. Acknowledge, understand, accept, love, and respect yourself. Yes, acknowledge,
Perfect.
understand, love, and respect yourself, man. I
You see
love
how
that.
you see how it fits?
I
Yeah.
love that, man. I love that. All right, so uh,
Yeah.
go for it.
Oh man, I felt like man, I felt like I was gonna. It's okay. Let's.
Share. No, share, please.
No, no, no.
Share.
I totally just botched it. So I don't remember like what I was gonna say.
And just before we move on to the final question that I want to ask you, is there anything else that you want to share with the viewers? Anything else that you want to bring up? Any other value or contribution that you want to share with?
I think that, like, if pretty much I'm dude, I'm not the guy with all the life answers. I'm just somebody who felt like I had value to share from my own experiences, and I'm tired of holding myself back from sharing that with the world, and because I know that I can provide value for others, and anybody who's
Yes.
really listening to this and really like getting some sort of value from it, I truly appreciate you, and just know that you can provide value as well. If I can do it, you can do it. Follow yourself, follow your heart, you know, just own yourself, and do what it is that, you know, you really feel like you should be doing. That's really just what I said. Don't be your own victim. Don't get in your own head. It could be tough, I know, but make those strides, you know, make it work for you. That's all. It's just super important. Like, that's what I really feel like I had to share, because I had to go through that from within myself, and it's still a process, but don't hold yourself back. Just don't do it.
Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way.
Yeah. Invest in yourself. Invest in a coach if you
Yes.
need to. Invest in stuff that will serve you. Just serve you,
Mm,
not short term serving an external validational feeling. Like, what will actually serve you, like mentally, physically, spiritually, and in the long term as well.
mm.
And just be at your own vibration and own
Yes.
yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself because you love yourself. And
Yes.
know you deserve this life. You deserve to create the life you desire and to live your best
Yeah.
life and be a high performer and reach your highest potential. So do this work for yourself. And final question for you: what is your definition of high performance? So what does it take and what does it mean to be a high performer?
So my personal definition of high performance, I'm sure everybody, everyone else has probably a different definition based on what they say, but my definition of high performance is getting up every single day, being consistent with what you set out to do that day. First of all, work on yourself, make sure you're in the best state that you can possibly be in that current present moment. Not a victim of the past, not really thinking victim of the future, being in your current present moment. That's why I do mindfulness. I bring myself to the current state. And what can you do to be functioning at your highest vibration, your highest frequency? And plan your day out and just execution. That's it. Like, it doesn't have to be getting $1 million. It's not about the external thing. It's what we're doing from within. It's the pursuit. I like that. Like, it's the pursuit of high performance. So we're pursuing what we love, what we aspire, what our goals and ambitions are, and everything else will follow. But we need to execute and dominate little things per day to get to there. And then we're going to keep on growing and keep on transforming, transitioning, transcending. That's my definition of just
Wow.
straight of that. Yeah.
Wow, brother. Wow. Wow. Man, I'm so grateful that you shared all that and that you're here on this podcast, providing an abundance of value, an abundance of contribution, you living your purpose, you being your authentic self. So I want to acknowledge you for being who you are, just shining your light, providing a value for others, doing the work, man. I'm grateful that you're doing the work. I'm grateful to call you my brother, to be in this tribe and this experience with you on this planet. And thank you so much for just being who you are.
Dude, thank you for having me, man. I'm super grateful and appreciative that I was able to be on your show and I was able to share this value and just yeah, man. I'm very happy to everybody who's listening. I'm super grateful for you listening right now. I just yeah, I feel amazing, man, and I'm really honestly grateful for your nice words, man.
Mm, yeah, brother. Where can people find you and learn more about you?
Okay, so you can find me at Instagram. My name is No Limit Chick. So yeah, that's gonna be my Instagram. That's pretty much what I use now, for in terms of social media. So yeah, you could definitely follow me there. I'm going to be launching my own podcast as well. If you are interested in listening to this, Nikita is going to be my first guest. We kind of had this pact, we're like, listen, we're going to start a podcast. We're going to be each other's first guest. That's just how it works. So I will be launching my own podcast soon. Stay tuned for that. It should be sometime in the near future. I'm still just, working on that but it's going to be called the uh, the Principles of Life podcast, and definitely I'm going to be dropping some amazing content. If you enjoyed what you listened to today, definitely check out my podcast with Nikita. Is going to be my first guest. We're going to go into a deep dive, and it's going to be primarily just focused on him. I want him to share, what he's going to share on that first episode. So yes, definitely find me there. It's going to be on YouTube and Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, man. And I'm going to link your Instagram, put all your information down in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for being on this podcast, for sharing everything that you've shared, all your value and contribution. Again, I acknowledge you for that. And to the viewers, to the listeners, please subscribe, like, and share this podcast interview with your family, with your friends. And I hope you have an extraordinary day and keep pursuing your high performance, keep reaching your high potential. And let's just go and take action and live our best life. Peace.
Just crush it, baby.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.